Well, good afternoon, everyone. It's 3 o'clock here in the UK on Tuesday, the 12th of April. And as you can see, the market's in fact quite strong this afternoon in the US. And we've been running now half an hour, and the S&P has moved up 52 points over last night's close. Those of you that were at the VectorVest Q&A on Monday afternoon, yesterday afternoon, I felt that the S&P was going to stop around 4450. I was incorrect. It fell right through to 4400. I didn't do anything yesterday at all, but I've managed to get a position on today, and we'll have a look at that in a second. The trends on VectorVest, the short-term trend is down, the underlying trend is down, but the longest-term measure of the trend is still up, and that moved up towards the end of March. So it's been up, what now, just a week, 10 days. So VectorVest does not advocate buying stocks at this time. I've looked at a couple of thematic positions which I've added and bought into over the last couple of days. I feel that oil, if you look at the daily chart of oil, you can see that it's at a very important support level, and I've just taken a bet that that support level is going to hold. Just remember, these positions, folks, are spread bets, short-term swing trades. I have no intentions of retiring on them. But that's ExxonMobil. I bought into this yesterday. CCJ, and I spoke about it at the Q&A. CCJ I've been holding for a couple of weeks. Goldfields I've been holding a couple of weeks, and I've added to both those positions last Friday. That's not true. I added to the GDX last Friday, and Goldfields I bought into yesterday. So, we'll have a look at these charts now, because they're quite interesting, I think. At least interesting to me. That's ExxonMobil. I'll get rid of the stochastic, and I like the chart. If we, in fact, volume's normally easier to see on a weekly chart, but we can see here that there was huge volume going into it in this up run, and it's now going sideways and falling volume, pushing up higher, and I think that the VectorVest valuation's at 110, and as you can see, earnings per share going strongly from $1 to $6 with the oil price up there. Oil price looks strong to me. It's at support. If the oil price holds at this level, then that should move up strongly indeed. It is a spread bet. As I say, I'm not trying to retire on it. If we now have a look at CCJ, this is a uranium play. There's a huge cup and handle here, and that is doing its best to push through these highs. So I'm happy with that. This is Goldfields. Now, Goldfields, I like the look of this, and I probably should have waited for a breakout here, but I didn't. But it's got a 5-wave pattern, and we shall see what happens. Stop losses under these lows. This is the GDX, which is going very strongly indeed. Beautiful textbook spring pattern on the GDX. If I have a look now at the S&P itself, and we have a look over 3 months, let's say. That's a bit too short. In fact, I thought that level was going to hold, but it's come back and came right back to this confluence. It's a 50% retracement and that old high, and now it's broken up quite nicely. I managed to get an entry this morning on the hourly chart intraday, which I bought into. Where did I buy into it? 44.20. Just at the cusp of the turn. Just remember, this trades 24 hours a day. Now, those of you that watched my video last week will know that there's a potential surprise attack here, and when I finished this video, I should have bought it already, because it's gone above that high. So I'll be adding to that position in a few minutes when I finish this video. That hadn't happened. It's been up there on the intraday, on the overnight market, but it just, as I was setting up for this video, it's actually broken above that high. in the last few minutes. As you can see, there was a surprise attack short there, surprise attack short there. This is a surprise attack long. I like this. This is a flag-like pattern. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 waves in it. This is what I teach in the precision swing trading course. And I also look at the stochastic in the swing trading course. And as you can see, we've got a rising bottom. I've got a falling bottom with the stochastic down in the 20 level. Nobody knows what's going to happen next, but it's a darn good bet. So if I have a look now at the oil market, there's the oil market sitting on these lows. This is a classic spring setup, and I'm already in that from this low. So I have a spread bet running here, and I bought into XOM. Is it going to run up to heaven from here? I have no idea, but I'm buying in, and I'm following the one thing that I've been doing for years. I didn't get into oil at a particularly good level. 96 is my entry in oil with a stop loss 92.50 or something. So it's going the right way. And again, if it, I won't add to it today, but if the position in fact starts to move my way and it breaks up, let's say we close today and tomorrow it breaks up through today's high, then I'll be tempted to add to that position. And while we're here, that's the gold market, and the gold market found supply came into the market at that high, and little surprised why gold fields has in fact pulled back. But gold market needs to get through that high, and you can see a nice little double bottom on this, very strong indeed, but clearly there's going to be an awful lot of bears short this market up around that high. So that's got a bit of work to do. If it can get through this high, then we can push up towards the 2000 level relatively quickly indeed. So that's what I've been busy doing in the US. There are thematic plays. One is in oil, one's in uranium, the other two are in gold, and that's why I've taken them. And I'm reasonably happy with the S&P. I think we'll probably get a push up towards the weekend. Then we'll see what happens. But just remember, folks, that these are short-term spread bets for me. They are not what I intend to retire on. Okay, so in the UK, I've added to one position, which is also a thematic position, and I have a great belief in the future of copper. The short-term trend in the UK is down. The underlying trend is up. We've got a confirmed up in place. The UK market, especially the blue chip indices, have been very strong because of its exposure to oil, its exposure to commodities, and its exposure to arms manufacturers. So, those have all been strong sectors. So the FTSE 100 having its day in the sun and its best period for quite a long time. Off a little bit today, but I would suspect that it'll make that up if the US keeps going as I anticipate. As I keep saying, and I quote Mark Twain, the future's a very slippery commodity. All I'm trying to do with my spread bets is to be able to get in at the point of maximum pessimism, where the risk is least and the opportunity is most, to poorly quote my hero Richard Wyckoff. So I've been busy here as well. Maybe not as aggressive as I should be. My word, there are storm clouds, but there are always storm clouds. The last time we had a major market bottom, we had COVID. Now we've got this ghastly war that seems to be turning the world upside down. The only position that I've added is I bought into Italia Mining, and I did that after the VectorVest Q&A yesterday. So I'm holding these positions: Bloomsbury, Anglo, CCC, and I feel like buying a few more CCCs if the short-term trend turns up. Morgan Sindall, I like the look of. Pan-African Resources should do well if the gold market breaks that level. Cape, I couldn't be happier with. Airtel Africa, I'm watching carefully. The market action, not that good. Market was confused by a statement out of Nigeria last week. These people operating in politically strange places Italian mining, a copper mine in a politically stable country. Spain, quite a rarity. Sylvania Platinum, I couldn't be happier with it. It's done nothing for the last little while, but certainly its characteristics are impeccable. It's on a PE of a PE going forward of 4 and a dividend yield of where am I now? A dividend yield of 4.17, and it's got a growth to PE of 6.5. So sooner or later that will move. And then of course McFarlane, which I believe is being strongly accumulated. So I want to just look at CCC because it's at a very important juncture in the chart. And as we can see, let's do a weekly chart here, and look at this, folks. Just there's 2020, a mile in history, and it's the beautiful spring formation here, and it seems to have broken and has come back and kissed. I think that we let the dust settle in there, and we've got a very good entry in this. As you can see, this huge bar on great results, and it's now pulling back on falling volume. Always a good sign. That's a particularly good level. I'm going to wait for the color guard on VectorVest to say yes, this is not a theme, but that looks to me as if that's a particularly good level, around that £28 level in CCC. I've added to this position quite a few times. That's one of the shares that I'm holding since March 2020, March the 24th, 2020, after the COVID collapse. That was one of the shares that I bought into, and I've held it the whole way through. In the sell-off that we had due to the war, it clipped its stop loss by 1 day, and by the time I got around to it, it had pushed up. So that, unfortunately, was a stop running exercise by some very, very capable people in advance of the news, which they clearly had got a sniff of. So reasonably happy with that. Clearly, folks, the big storm clouds are interest rates going up at a pace that we haven't had for a couple of decades. The bond market in the US, the bond market, the gilts market in the UK, and even in Germany. At the 1st of March in Germany, you had to pay the German government to keep your money. Now you get paid 0.7% by the German government. So the bond market, bond prices have fallen, yields have risen, and also that Fed governor last week spoke of quantitative tightening, which is the opposite of what we've had for many years, with the Fed putting money into the market. Now they're going to be pulling money out of the market. So big week ahead, earnings, and can earnings stay up there? For the moment, the trends on VectorVest on both sides of the Atlantic are down, and one needs to be very careful there. I hope you found this useful. Thanks very much. Bye-bye.